So I'm doing some more playing around today. Earlier I made this fabric with Kool-Aid, and as you can see I have sewn it. I'm going to make a fabric junk journal with different size pages. So another thing I tried today was this is napkins, and I thought to myself, we're always gluing the napkins to paper. Why can't we glue it to fabric? And so what I use for both pieces is this little fabric right here. I have some of this. What this fabric is when you line a jacket or a vest, it's that lining fabric. It's not really good for much anything else, but for this it worked perfectly. It's got a very tight weave, and all I did was, on this piece right here, I used this decoupage glue, and I literally poured a little bit onto the fabric, did a brush, and then put the napkin down. As you can see, I must have put too much, but I actually like this. I think this is so cool. If you listen, it's interesting. It's almost leather-like, because you are going to get some little areas where the napkin is going to crease, but and then the glue made these spots on the fabric in the back. I think it's very cool, and there's lots of possibilities for something like that. What I did also when I sewed this is I put fusible interfacing on the back of this fabric, and then I sewed them to give it more body, because that fabric normally is a rayon and it's very flimsy. So this is great, because you can use fabric you normally wouldn't use in a journal, because normally you want to use something that's got more body, but just put fusible interfacing. And as you can see now, it's got a lot. It's still easy to move, but it's got a lot more stability. Now, this was the decoupage glue. I did a second one. This one right here, I used golden matte medium. Same thing, I put it on the fabric first, but what I did was I put some of the, because it's very hard to put this on here without the napkin ripping. So I put a little matte medium, and then I put that, and I just worked my way, and I just, as I would put it down with the brush, I would just lightly pat it down like that, and then I waited for it to dry. And it's not as thick, but you may not want it to be thick, especially if you don't feel like your sewing machine, if you're going to sew over it. And I did obviously sew through this, and it sewed perfectly fine. But this is a lot thinner, but it's really cool how it changes the texture of the fabric. It makes it almost like a leather or vinyl. Now it does, you don't see the image as well, but I don't really think that's a problem. And this would be a good use for, maybe you have some napkins that you're not too happy with the images, but it has color, and that way you can use them up, make something interesting. I like the texture of it. I like the distressed and weathered look of it. Anyway, yet another thing that you can do, you know, if you don't have decoupage glue and you don't have matte medium, try just white glue. Try Elmer's glue. Try what you have. I mean, if it didn't work, all I would have lost is a little tiny scrap of fabric. But it did work. Give it a try. Have a good day.